Welcome to Business Beyond the Game. My name is Eric Jackson, and today we're joined by WNBA All-Star Sabrina Ionescu. Sabrina, thanks for coming on. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for joining us. And you know, you're entering your fourth year with the New York Liberty, but this year's a little different, right? The off-season, Breanna Stewart, Courtney Vandersloot, Jonquel Jones, some stars have joined the team, a little extra firepower. Sabrina, what's the excitement levels like around the building right now?
It's an all-time high. We're all excited to be here. We understand, what it means to represent, New York basketball and the Liberty, and I think it's just this appreciation for, the greatness that we have around each other, and how it speaks volumes about us as individuals, wanting to team up together and bring a championship to New York.
Yeah, and Sabrina, I think a lot of us know the accomplishments on the court, right, for you, but you've also carved out your own path commercially and off the court. And you recently just did your first signature shoe with Nike, among other feats. And so my question to you, Sabrina, what's been the biggest business lesson for you since you were drafted in 2020?
Just staying true to myself. There's going to be so many different paths that you can take, and these offers being thrown and these business deals. But I think at the end of the day, it's just making sure that I align with companies and organizations that have the same vision that I do, and that's really been something that I've been able to do. And obviously you have great representation that has been able to kind of lead the way in that category, but it's been super exciting. I've learned a lot about what's important to me and what I need to continue to do off the court as well as on the court.
Right. How do you balance that, though, Sabrina? You're so focused on winning a title, right, and the basketball, right, but also you have such opportunities off the court and everything else, right? Like, how do you just balance all those roles?
Well, it's nice I'm not in school anymore, so I have a little bit of time to do that. But, I think it's keeping the main goal, and that's obviously being the best basketball player that I can be, and, coming in every day and doing my job. And then, especially in the off season, I do have, more time that I'm able to really commit and devote myself for the off-court stuff. And at the end of the day, if you take care of everything on the court, the off-court stuff just kind of comes along with it.
Yeah, and coming from Oregon, Sabrina, being a Nike athlete and being able to pick brains of everyone, right, from Kobe Bryant to Phil Knight, how did that shape your mindset business-wise, just heading into the league?
Well, Oregon definitely prepared me for that. I think just the resources that Oregon's able to provide from my freshman year through my senior year, and just being able to ask questions, talk to donors, understand business strategy, and also just being a Nike school and understanding that tie and relationship. Obviously, that helped me, make my decision in terms of signing with Nike, because I did come from Oregon and had a great relationship with the Nike family ever since then. And so, I think every part of my path has led me to where I am right now, and I'm very thankful for that.
Right, no, definitely, for sure. And being in New York, obviously business capital in a lot of ways, international as well. How much do you think that just helped? Just parlay that in terms of, commercial opportunities and everything.
Yeah, it's the biggest market, in any sport really, and so I think that's kind of been a highlight in why players have wanted to come here, because they understand what they can do on the court, but also business opportunities off the court. And who doesn't want to go to New York Fashion Week and to go to the U.S. Open and to just attend so many things, and that's because we are in New York and we're here during the time of the season and actually are able to go and experience that. So it's definitely been a learning curve coming from playing in Eugene, Oregon, to now being in New York City, but it's been super exciting.
Yeah, that's great. And Sabrina, a lot of people really do consider you to be sort of the global face of women's basketball, right? Like, in your mind, what responsibility comes with that, in terms of advancing the women's game? It seems like a big responsibility.
Yeah, well, I think that just stays at the top of mind, and obviously I have to do, what my job is on the court, but also understanding that it's a lot bigger than basketball, and continuing to just push for equality. And I know that I'm able to do that, especially along my great teammates, and being in New York and understanding that it's, we want to change the game and change it for good. And, I know that myself and a lot of the others that are on this team are going to be able to do that, and we're going to be able to do it together, which is really special.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And obviously the WNBA continues to grow, from viewership to investments, practice facilities, you name it. But there's still a divide, right, in terms of resources compared to the men's game. And as one of the game's biggest stars, I'm just curious, how much do you feel like you have to speak up on certain issues, and how do you balance sort of, when do I chime in, when do I kind of go, sit this one out? How do you kind of balance that, you would say?
Yeah, there's definitely still a big gap. I think every year that gap has continued to shrink and has gotten smaller. And the new CBA, upon us, I think there's going to be steps in the right direction. And obviously, these things don't happen overnight. Those big gaps have been there for generations and generations. And I think, now, especially since we're here in New York and our game's going to be able to speak for itself, our ownership believes in us and understands what we deserve as professional athletes, no matter if we're women or, on the men's side. And I think that's been a huge part of my appreciation for being a part of this organization. And so we're going to continue to do our job and hopefully continue to shrink the gap.
Great. Well, Sabrina, before I let you go, New York Liberty have never won a championship. Sabrina, you got to tell us, is this the year?
Yeah, that's the goal. The goal is now. The time is now. Obviously, it's not championship or bust. There's always steps in the right direction, and this group that we have here, the plan is to run it for a long time and to build a dynasty. And it's not always going to be winning every single game. There's going to be adversity with it, and I think you could see that in every dynasty that has been built in sport. There's always highs and lows, but that's the goal. It's been the goal in the start of the training camp, and that's where we're going to come in with the intention of doing this season.
Sabrina, I appreciate you. Thank you. There you guys have it. Sabrina Ionescu.
Thank you.
That was great, for sure. Sabrina, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm launching this video series, so I appreciate you just coming on, and it's going to be a lot of fun and different athletes, and it's going to be cool. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, take care.